Hi, this is Amazing Tony again. In this session, we're going to talk about what to say to the seller if you already have their phone number, right? In other words, you found a property, you located the owner, you got their phone number, and now you want to call them. Now, usually, if you're not experienced at this, you would dread calling the seller because you'll be scared they're going to say no to you. They're going to say, "Well, who are you? Why are you calling me?" and stuff like that. But it's really very simple. And the reason is very simple is this. When you're calling somebody to offer them a service, right, that doesn't cost them money, in this case, um, the property is vacant, the seller obviously has some kind of distress, or the property has a distress. So you're calling to offer them money. So when I'm calling to offer somebody money, I'm not afraid to call them or to provide a solution to them. So you shouldn't be afraid to call them. Just calm down, pretend like you're going to call your friend and say, "Hey, I'm going to give you some money," So you should be smiling and um, psych yourself up to the fact that the seller should be glad you're calling. So you pick up your phone and you dial and you say, "Hey, Mr. Jones." Well, first of all, it's gonna ring, right? And they pick up the phone and say, "Hi, my name is Toyin." Usually I go by Toyin. Um, this is Toyin. Can I speak to Susie or John? And you say, "Oh, this is John. Hey, John, how are you? How you been?" Good. Now, usually you can't really say how you been because you don't really know them. But you first of all say, "How are you?" "Oh, I'm good." "All right." Now you go straight to the point. This you could do a little bit of um, rapport, but it's very difficult because you have to tell them right away why you're calling them. "John, the reason I'm calling you is because of your property located at boom. I was driving by, I saw the property, it's vacant, and I buy properties, and I was wondering if you might be interested in selling the property." Then you wait for an answer.
That was very
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah.
That's it. And then you
Yeah.
can start from there the
Yes.
conversation. If they say they're interested, then you can start um negotiate. So if they say yes, I'm interested, then
All
what?
right, cool. Good. So, let me ask you this. When can I see the property? Right? So you go there, you set an appointment right there and then. Okay. Now, if they say, "Well, I'm in um, Illinois, I can't really show the property." Okay. So how much are you thinking of getting for the property? Because the chances are they've been thinking about selling it, right? Don't ask them how much is the property? How much do you want, right? How much are you thinking of getting for it? Or how much would you like to get for it? Something like that, okay? And then they'll give you a price. If they don't give you a price, they'll say, "Well, you're the one that saw it, give me an offer." "Okay, Mr. Jones, yes. I would like to give you an offer. So what I'll do is this: I'm gonna check it out some more, do some comms, and then probably come back with an offer." Okay. So you want to probably talk a little bit more, and then come back with the same question, right? Okay. Now, how long have you owned the property? "Oh, I've owned it for so many years." Is there any work that needs to be done? "Or there's nothing to be done." How old is the roof? So you talk to them for a little bit and ask specific questions about the property. While you're asking all these questions, okay, the objective is to go back to the same question so you could get a price from them. It's usually better that they give you a price than you giving them a price. Because once they give you a price, you know where you're starting from. If you give them a price, you can actually go down on the price that you give out. If you give a price out that "I'm going to buy your property for 100,000," well, you cannot turn around and say, "Well, now I only want to pay 180." You understand? But if they give you a price, you could always go down, and they cannot go up.
So now what if you say, are you willing to sell your property? And they say no.
Why not?
Oh. And then yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good one. And then they'll explain, and then depending on what their explanation is, and you say
Then you go from there. Yes.
yeah.
So I mean, what, Mr. Jones, the property is vacant. It's been vacant for a while. Why don't you want to sell it? "Oh, because we like to look at it vacant." "Oh, no." Okay. But
Okay.
usually, when they say, I mean,
That's good.
whatever answer they give you, you could always you have a comeback. If they say yes, then you have a business. You have something to talk about. If
And
they
if
say
they
no,
know, you say why.
why?
Love it. That is who. No one. I think people when they're new, they would just say, "Okay, bye."
Yeah,
No, they would because they say,
Yeah.
you know, "Are you interested in?" And you say no, and you just think, "Oh, that's the end of the conversation." And
Yeah.
then I like that the whole thing
Yeah.
of why.
Yeah.
So what do you do if you call them and they don't answer and there's a voicemail? Do you leave a message?
Yeah.
Do you hang up? What do you say?
Okay, so let me go back one step, right?
Mhm.
When somebody says, "Are you interested in the product?" and they say no, right? You can't really say why, right? You could say, well, to preface it, right? Make them feel comfortable. Oh, Mr. Jones, so I understand that. You know, can I ask you why you don't want to sell it? Right? That's a little bit more gentle, right?
Oh.
Okay. But you could just come out and say, well, why not? Now, so you call somebody, this you leave a message, right? You're supposed to leave a message. You know, say, my name is John. I'm not here. Leave me a message, right? Well, you could leave a message that, John, I'm calling you about your property, right? Well, if they don't have any intention of doing anything with the property, they will just ignore your message. And you'll be wondering, did they get your message? Then you have to call them back and stuff like that, okay? Um, so when I leave a message, I don't leave a message about the property. Sometimes I just leave a message, hey, my name is Toyin. Can you give me a call back as soon as you can?
Okay.
Right? They'll be wondering, well, who's Toyin? I don't know this Toyin. But they will call me back. And then when they call me back, I say, hey, John, the reason I call you is because about your property.
How many times will you call them? Let's say you call, you leave a message, they don't call you back. Like, how many times will you call and leave a message before you just kind of put them to the side? And do you only call, or is there other things that you do?
These days, you know, you could text, and that usually gets a response. Okay, let me give you an example. You know, I was trying to locate a lady, property owner. I called her so many times. Every time I call, it goes to a machine. She never called back. Then I began to text her, and I text her messages that arouse their interest. Right. So you have to text, you know, creative messages to get them to call you. And so when they call you, then you have a conversation.
That, you know what, we don't think about, well, what do you say in a text? But that's a good scenario. What do you say in a text?
Hey, this is Tony. Can you give me a call? We're like, who is Tony? I don't know you.
Okay.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Hey, this is Tony. You know, I have something for you. Right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And so if I don't get a call, then I'll say, hey, this is Tony. I was calling about your property. I just happen to have some money for you regarding this property. If you're interested, call me.
So if you tell them I have some, now some people might think money, what, you know, this is a scam. Yeah. But sometimes you're like, well, money, okay, let me call back.
Very seldom will people hear about money and not call you. Anytime you say you got money for somebody, they might say, well, this is a scam, but then their curiosity will get the best part of them, and eventually they'll call you and say, well, some guy called me and said they got money for me. Well, I mean, I know this is a scam, but so what do you got? That's what they'll say.
So I think we covered it. You pretty much said how you handle it, what you say to them, how you. Oh, did we say how long will you continue to pursue them?
Usually, if it's a property that I've personally seen,
mm-hmm.
and I know that there's a deal there somewhere,
mm-hmm.
I will, and I know that's their phone number. The first thing you really want to establish is that their phone number,
mm-hmm.
okay? And so you keep calling that number until you establish that they're the owner of the property,
mm-hmm.
and that's their number. And you call them for as long as possible until they call you back and say, "Look, quit calling me," right? Mm-hmm. So, like we say in the business, you call them until they sell or die, you know.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
All right. I think that covers this section of our conversation.
All right.
Thank you.